Welcome to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt. Today, we're reviewing a bourbon that I'm typically not very fond of. But just because I haven't come across a ton of Maker's Mark products that I've enjoyed in the past, that won't keep me from reviewing the newest release. This is ass. Today, we're tasting and reviewing the 2024 limited wood finishing series release from Maker's Mark. It's the Heart release. It's got a cork in it now, apparently, America. I could have sworn that last year Maker's Mark said that they were done with the wood finishing series, that they were calling it quits, that they were going to make no more. But either I heard incorrectly or that was not true, because in 2024 they released the Heart release for me and you. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Barrel finished with 10 virgin oak staves. 10 virgin oaks. It says limited release on the side label, so you know you paid too much. Handmade on Star Hill Farm. Volume 1 of 5. 112 proof, 56% alcohol by volume. Maker's Mark textured label makes me happy to touch. It's made out of nice textured stock. For this second chapter of our limited release wood finishing series, we pursue unique taste visions inspired by the teams who craft our handmade bourbon in Loretto, Kentucky. The makers of our makers, if you will. In this 2024 release known as the Heart release, we have crafted a one-of-a-kind expression that celebrates our team that distills our whiskey without an E. This team is the center, the heart, if you will, of our whiskey making process. This stage in the process serves to guide all other stages, ensuring our taste vision is realized fruit forward with caramel, maple, and chocolate notes. This expression features a rich, creamy mouthfeel that is a pure delight. We hope you enjoy this one as much as we enjoyed making it. Maker's Mark is proud to be a certified B Corporation, meeting the highest standards of social and environmental impact. Why do they call it a B Corporation if it's the finest? If it's the highest standards, wouldn't that not be B but rather A? Like I said, historically not a huge Maker's Mark fan. I find it to be a bit dairy-like and a bit like farmy, but that's typical for a lot of younger wheated bourbon. The 2023 cellar release, really enjoyed it. Phenomenal. If they actually aged it properly for 12 years in a rick house, I can only imagine it would be like top tier tasting material. But they threw that bitch in a cellar instead. And that's why they call themselves the B Corporation, because they be screwing everything up. Let's go for a nose. 10 toasted virgin French oak staves. Just kidding. Very sweet. Sweet and cherries. It's like a sweet maraschino cherry tea, except for without the tea. Kind of delicate. Not a lot of powerful aromas are exiting the glass. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cherry. Shit. Now I'm afraid that I'm just repeating their tasting notes. What does it say on here? Caramel, chocolate, and maple. Oh, I didn't say any of those. But caramel, chocolate, and maple. I don't get any maple. I can see the caramel. It's like a carameled cherry vanilla treat wrapped up in a nice little red waxed bow. For show. I'm not sure if I were poured this blind, if I would pick up on the fact that it's a Maker's product, which is a good thing. That's a good thing in my books. Right, let's go for a taste. I don't hate that, which is a plus. Don't love it though, which is to be expected. It gets more bitter as it goes. First thought was this is a sweet treat. Something that's gonna like build and hopefully taper off in like a really well-developed oily experience. Unfortunately, it wasn't an oil wrestling competition like I had hoped. Instead, I was wrestling with a bitter note that I did not enjoy. It goes from sweet to bitter to more bitter on the back. Second sip a little bit better. The bitterness is starting to like wind down a little bit, ready to tuck itself in for the night. But the longer I'm sitting here talking to the camera and letting this finish in my mouth, it still turns a bit wood bitter on the back. I'm still picking up on that wood bitterness. But for a maker's product, this is definitely headed in the direction of me enjoying it. Third sip, and I'm appreciating the oiliness now. Very oily at first before it begins to dissipate. And although I don't think that this is a great pour, I do think that this is one of my favorite maker's products. It's not like pressing all the buttons. It's not like checking all the boxes. Its resume is filled with holes and a lot of things I would question. But in the end, am I unhappy that I purchased this heart release? That depends on how well this video does, to be honest. To be totally fair. Are there a million other bourbons I would reach for before this? No, but there's probably about 400 within reach. If you don't enjoy maker's products generally, but have had a few that you really like, this one might be for you. If you are a die-hard maker's fan, this one might be hit or miss because some of the maker's profile doesn't really exist on this. If you're just looking to spend $75 on a bottle of bourbon, that will do it for you. If you're watching your budget closely and want to know, do you need this whiskey? The answer to that is no. Unless you have to have every maker's release that they release. With that being said, I am going to give this Maker's Mark 2024, the Heart Release, a score of 7.2. It is good. It is good. But in a world filled with allocated bourbon and special release whiskey, this one doesn't really stand out or like poke its head above the pack. It's just kind of there. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the thumbs up. Just do it. And leave a comment down below. What's your favorite Maker's Mark release? And if it's not a Dusty Maker's or cellar aged, you're wrong. But I still want to know. Thank you all for watching. My name is Matt. This is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds but your mind. I'm disconnecting your sprinklers and yard hoses and such before it freezes outside. I know it's only early October, but you're gonna blink 3 times, it's gonna be December 23rd. All I'm saying is don't procrastinate on winterization. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And if you burst a pipe in your crawl space, your money's going to a plumber. And God knows what he'll buy with your money. I've got hose that once froze. It once froze.